Meet me in the. Meet me in the. It's going down.
Yo, welcome back. What's good, family? Y'all, welcome back to Set for Life Crypto. Tonight, we not just talking charts. We gonna talk destiny. We gonna talk because the market is wild right now. Red candles, green candles, dream. You feel me? But we still riding the current like seasonal waves. So tonight, we gonna do a little freestyling. The market talk, raw and uncut, from Bitcoin chess moves to those quiet XRPL Ripple moves and what could turn into tidal waves. You know, you already know the mission. So we're gonna decode the noise for y'all. We're gonna ride this signal. Y'all stay, we're gonna stay 10 steps ahead of everybody while they still Googling the basics. We're gonna be breaking down the real deal, what's going on. So y'all know this ain't no cap. We just gonna keep it all freestyle tonight. XRP keep on sitting at the table even when the rest falls. So liquidity is building, you guys. The rails are forming, and the finternet, as they call it, is humming. So beneath the surface, this ain't just crypto talk. You feel me? Y'all gotta tune in because this is history in motion. So lock in, pour up you a little bit of something. Roll you some, whatever you gotta do to focus. And vibe with us tonight as we ride into the future, into the new existence. This is Set for Life Crypto, and we ain't here for pumping. We here for the paradigm shift. You know what I mean? Y'all drop likes in those comments. Whatever y'all got to say to us tonight. What's up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? Crypto Kurt in the building as always. How are y'all doing tonight? Thanks for joining in on this Sunday evening, Sunday fun day, as we call it. Just a little groove session with us, hang out, ask some questions, put your questions in the chat. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, guy. Gives us some likes so we can get this out there for people to see. Again, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell so that way you get a notification when we come on each night, give you the news, give you the info. Again, we're ahead of everybody else. We start seeing people on YouTube talking about, I mean, these are big content creators on YouTube that have thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers, and their information is usually about one day behind us. So we're giving you guys the information here first.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're doing them deep dives, and we're actually getting you that good information. And again, we start seeing other content creators talking about what we just talked about the very next day. So hang out with us, vibe with us. We're actually bringing you the real deal information on the crypto. So again, if you got any questions, ask them in the chat, guys. We're here tonight to answer your questions, whatever they may be. Just kind of hang out. Just give you kind of a little rundown for the day. For the day, we're kind of looking green. If you see the crypto bubbles on the screen, XRP is up 1.1% over the day. Everything's looking pretty good for the day. Everything's up 2%, 3%. You have a few things up in the double digits, but for the most part, everything is in the 2 to 3% range. If you still look at go over the month for October, we put out the video Pumptober or Nothing Burger this month. It's really been more of a sell-off this month than anything. So if you go to the monthly here, you still see you got a lot of discounts going on still over the month. So, XRP down 20.6% over the month. So you could take advantage of this little steal. It's a 20% discount right now. What we got? Let's find H bar on here. H bar is down 29.3% still over the month. That's a good little 30%, almost 30% discount on H bar. You got Quant down 14.6% still over the month. You could take advantage of that while it's almost 15% off. If you're into the meme tokens, You got Bonk down 38.9%, almost 39%. So that's almost a 40% discount. Pingu is down 37.5%, almost a 40% discount on that. Doge is down 27%. So you got a nice little almost 30% discount on Doge if you're into the meme space. Pepe is also down 35.5%. Shiba Inu is down 22%. So a lot of those are in your higher double digits in your 30% range. So that's kind of what's going on for the month. So over the month, we're still looking good going into the end of fourth quarter. So right now is a great time to take advantage of some of this fear and some of this discounts that are going on in the market. Over the hour, we're still pumping a little bit over the hour. You do have a few tokens that are coming down a 0.5%, 0.1%. XRP is down 0.1% in the last hour. But again, for the day, everything's kind of rocking around the between 1 and 3% range. I say it's a healthy little breather, a healthy little pullback over the last couple of days of pumping. Come back down 1 or 2% and then pump up another 5%. We're good with that. What you got for our Sunday evening tonight, brother?
Bro, man, I'm just kind of freestyling with it, just trying to vibe with the people, man, see what's going on. Really, I was kind of digging into a few things about XRP. I'm always on the XRP ledger and looking into information. And we kind of been taking these people around the world. So y'all just, if y'all haven't been with us since we started our page, we kind of been trying to take y'all around the world with all the partnerships and things that Ripple got going on. So y'all can kind of connect the dots yourself. Y'all ain't really got to listen to people outside. If y'all can't do the homework, we doing it for you. So we can show y'all like what's really going on. So we've been to Asian countries already. Um, and we kind of started touching a little bit and on the Western world and Europe and stuff. So I was kind of wrapping it around and just kind of waiting on a couple questions and stuff. But really, I want to kind of talk about the Treasury, man. The acquisition of the Treasury and what it do for Ripple. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Um, as far as them now being able to tap right into the Fed and pull value up right directly from the Feds, lowering their cost of borrowing money and giving them direct access, and not having to go through a third party bank. You know what I mean? All of that's gonna be pretty good for us if we can get this bank chart. That's what I was talking about. Oh, excuse me, I was mistaken. I'm not talking about the treasury. I was talking about the bank chart. But we did buy the G Treasury for the $1 billion acquisition. Bro, tell them what they did already on the coup. That's
So
so funny.
I was looking into something. I mean, I thought it was quite interesting. So I was asking Chat GPT if it could help me find out. Right. I was kind of curious. So you have Ripple doing a $1 billion acquisition of G Treasury, right? In which they're going to put some of their own XRP and they're also going to buy $1 billion worth of XRP for their treasury, right? Um, it's kind of how I understood it.
They ain't gonna do it. They
They're
already
already
got
doing it. So basically, around that same time on Friday, Um, Ripple created a new wallet address in which they moved a $500 million into of XRP into that wallet right before the price dropped down from I think it was like two was around 240.
to 218.
to 2.189, so like almost to $2.19, and then immediately was bought up to around the 227, 228 range, which kind of coincides with them selling off a half a billion dollars worth of XRP and then buying it back up at a cheaper rate. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. Um,
Yeah, for them to have already had, I mean, like we were saying, this shit was our plan. They already knew they was gonna have the acquisition. They already had been working on buying it behind the scenes. We don't know what the fuck they was doing, you know. So they probably already had all of it planned and already knew, hey, we finna do this. We gonna need to get some more, you know what I'm saying, some more XRP to fund our treasury. So I mean, but again, this is what me and my brother be talking about on our own personal time. Um, we not really tripping about them doing what they got to do. I mean, they only doing what it take to make sure that XRP reach the prices that we all have been speculating about. And we are newer in the industry, and like it makes sense to me. It makes total sense to me why they would have these astronomical numbers. Um, and of course, like I say, I'm a double amputee, so I'm sitting at home all day and I got the time to do research 12, 15 hours a day, you know what I mean? And I'm literally doing that. So all the research that I have gotten, I couldn't possibly tell you everything that's caught up in my brain. Me and my bro be talking a lot of times, and he'll bring up something, and I've been and forgot that I knew about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, um, keep your eyes tuned, man. We bringing y'all the real deal. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all getting the information first, and we ain't telling the information to y'all with a bias. And of course, we are utilizing the AI to help us discover most of all of this information. So we just kind of point y'all in the right direction. If y'all looking and paying attention, y'all can find everything we talking about, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's my opinion on that, bro.
I mean, just like we have our conversation. I was telling telling my brother, if in order for us to get XRP to $1,000 a token, which is what we want, we all want that, right? We all hearing these astronomical $1,000 price, $750 a token, $1,000 a token, whatever. In order for us to get to those prices, Ripple is going to have to control the rails and the other companies that it's going to take in order for all of this to move smoothly. Otherwise, they're going to get friction along the way, right? If the banks don't want to do it, then they're going to get friction that way. If they can't go cross chain and use the overledger to tap into multiple blockchains and make everything interoperable, and then they don't have a treasury company, and then they, all these things that they're acquiring, that they're spending all this money on, yes, they're kind of dumping, if you want to call it that, on the open market. They have to pull profits, they have to take money. That's how those allocations of XRP were put aside for that very reason, for them, for marketing budgets, for allocations, for everything that they're doing. But they're not just taking our money and then going on these luxurious vacations and buying yachts and shit with it, right? They're taking our money and they're investing it into acquisitions and buying companies, buying real tangible things that we can see, that we know that they're doing, that's improving the chances of XRP for long-term longevity, controlling the market for payments, cross-border payments, interoperability, settlement layer, on-demand liquidity, all the things that they're doing.
Tokenization,
Yeah, I mean, all this
like
stuff,
we,
that they're gonna need the money for that. So I would rather see them doing what they're doing, taking the money, taking the profits, and building the company, building what we want them to build. This is what we want for XRP. How do you think it's going to get there? How do you think it's going to happen unless They have the funds in order to do it. How do they get those funds? They get
We
people
let them
to it.
borrow it.
They get people to invest. They get
We let them borrow it
yeah,
publicly and privately. I'm sure Ripple got people who are invested in their company, Ripple, as well as we are invested in the XRP token. Like they need the money. It don't work without money. And people just gotta have some delayed gratification again, bro. Just like we be talking about. Just think of it if you was the owner of, how would you have to make it work? You know what I mean? So I was actually looking up tokenization and what's been being tokenized. And on July the 7th, Mercado Bitcoin to tokenize 200 million in real world assets on the XRP. Now, Mercado Bitcoin is Latin's largest crypto exchange, and they announced a partnership with Ripple to tokenize 200 million in real world assets on the XRP ledger. The first phase includes tokenizing government-backed bonds, receivables, and other financial instruments from Brazil. This project will use Ripple's enterprise tokenization solution, leveraging XRPL's built-in token issuance, low fees, and fast settlements. The deal is part of Brazil's digital asset infrastructure push, which the central bank is supporting through DREX, its CBDC framework. Ripple executives said that this demonstrates how XRPL can handle institutional grade real world assets tokenization and not just payments. And why this matters is it is the largest real world asset initiative on the XRPL to date. So this confirms that institutions are choosing the XRPL for the compliance grade tokenization and not just speculation. It bridges XRP's network closer to being the bridge between CBDCs and stablecoins and tokenized bonds across Latin America. And that article you can find on Coindesk.com. So if you looking to look up what I'm saying, I can share my screen and show y'all what the uh, article look like.
yeah. Share your screen.
So talking about Mercado Bitcoin is already a significant player in the private credit asset tokenization space, having tokenized over Brazilian real $1 billion, approximately 185 million. Mercado Bitcoin previously used Ripple payments for cross-border treasury flows between Brazil and Portugal. Latin American crypto exchange Bitcoin plans to tokenize over 200 million in real world assets, including fixed income and equity instruments on the XRPL. The move marks one of the largest tokenization efforts by Latin American institutions on the XRPL, according to this press release. And we can listen to what they're saying if y'all would like. Let me turn that up and bring it back a little bit. Oh, man. I'm sorry, y'all. That popped up as soon as I start playing the video. But But this is something we need to hear together because I haven't watched it either. So, let's see.
Love to do is to go all in on this. I think you're layering big numbers to and talking about any.
He's speaking of Barcelona and ETH. So, but the article I was reading was referring to XRP. So, yeah, bro, tokenization is happening in real time. This ain't something that we waiting on, y'all. Like, people have to start getting their shit together and understanding. I got this other clip. Hold on, let me play this clip. This is the head of the IMF telling you that tokenization is happening, money is moving digital, whether you like it or not. And she was referring to countries. She was actually speaking to different countries when she was saying this. So let me share my screen again and I'm going to play this video for you. This is on my boy Crypto Sensei's channel. It's one of my favorites. So let me play it.
Can't hear any volume, but I can play it.
You can hear it?
No.
Okay. Let me stop. Play that video.
Okay. I can pull it up.
Okay. My bad, y'all. A little technical difficulties. But my brother gonna pull it up for y'all. So y'all can hear what she's saying.
Let's see. Which one was that? It's time, right? XRP price.
Blockchain and digital assets are the future of the financial system. We now have the head of the International Monetary Fund basically telling the entire world it's time to start adopting the technology or get left behind. I want to go through some of these clips because they are incredible to hear. We have the highest levels of the financial and banking system coming around and saying what we've known for all of these years, that crypto is here to stay, and owning these assets are like owning a piece of the financial market infrastructure of the future. Let's just go in. Let's jump into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Do some sort of central regulation or a way to bridge the gap in different countries having different regulations around crypto so that there can be trust in places that Anjay is talking about.
But for the IMF at this stage, which is still things are developing, actually our most important job is to clearly define what is what and why, and then work with our members so they can see themselves in this rapidly changing environment. First, recognize that we need to differentiate between the underlying technology and the functionality of this technology. So we have a distributed ledger technology, we have blockchain. Blockchain can be used for all kinds of things. Blockchain can be used to get other assets, to get securities, to get other things on the blockchain. So
Jeremy Allaire from Circles right there, just to give you some context.
Not necessarily blockchain equals crypto money. And yet many people confuse these two things. And we actually have to help countries to see through the possibility of moving towards tokenization of other things. So one day money, let's call it money, and assets may be moving on the same blockchain. How do we cope with this? Second, it is very important to differentiate. There is digitalization going on in fiat money, and it is very good and very powerful. Then there is unbacked crypto. Most famous, of course, in the unbacked crypto is Bitcoin. And then there is stablecoin, with different degree of stability. And on top of it, we have CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. I saw actually, and I'm sorry, I should have waved immediately, Madam Digital Euro, Christine Lagarde, moved in this corridor. The debate around CBDCs from countries that say absolutely not, never, to countries that say, hey, that's a useful thing to have. So we have multiple developments that complement, but sometimes possibly contradict each other. And the third issue for our membership is to anticipate the impacts of developments elsewhere. I see the governor of the Central Bank of Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, very advanced, they actually are experimenting with tenge stablecoin. They are experimenting with CBDC because they want to understand this new world for themselves, and other countries are doing it.
Really quickly, some of these countries where they're getting into blockchain and tokenization, they might not know where to start. So what is the first thing these countries would do? They would probably pick up the phone and talk with the BIS. They'd probably talk maybe with somebody at the IMF and really understand what technologies, should we be testing and looking at. And we've seen a ton of documentation coming out of all of these different acronyms, the BIS, the IMF, the World Economic Forum, mentioning Ripple, XRP, Stellar, XLM, and a few other digital assets. So I would imagine that a lot of these tests are being done through the XRP ledger on some type of private ledger through Ripple's technology. Now, we don't know how many central banks there really are. We've heard reports from the people at Ripple that there's above 24, right? There's roughly around 20 to 24 central bank digital currency tests and pilots happening out there. We only know about 6 or 7 of them. So there's a lot of countries that are testing Ripple's technology that we just don't have we can't point it and say yes, but you start to listen to what she's saying here and you start to wonder, is the ECB going to choose Ripple's technology? Is Kazakhstan testing the XRP ledger?
All right, so there we had it from the IMF director talking about how banks can't just close a blind eye and saying that the technology isn't going to be here and isn't going to be used, which the International Monetary Fund basically it's the central bank of all central banks. So, I mean, it sends out the messaging to the central banks, who then send out the messaging to the smaller regional banks and your local banks. So
they also bail out countries when they go insolvent. When countries need to borrow money and need to be bailed out, the IMF is who bail them out. So you ain't just talking about somebody that just was a nobody telling you that no matter whether you like the fact that money is going digital or not, you better get aboard the train, because the train is going to end up running you over or leaving you, one out of two. This is a train that cannot be stopped. It's already moving too fast. And just on that note, bro, on the note of actually tokenizing these real world assets, I had pulled up another little screen, right? So on Coin Central, they were talking about how much things have been tokenized on the XRPL, and I kind of threw it into Chat GPT to break down what's going on. So here's the deal, okay? While everyone else is busy watching meme coins to do backflips, the XRPL has been out here building an empire in silence. And now the numbers are screaming. In just 6 months, real world assets on the XRP ledger jumped 2,260%. Did y'all hear that? And yes, you got that right. From $5 million to $118 million in 6 months. That is not hype. That is utility in motion. And we are talking about real estate, treasuries, stable coins, the bricks and the steel of finance. All of that get wrapped and moved on the XRP rails. Check it out. Dubai is tokenizing property deeds. Latin American is dropping $200 million of assets with Mercado, like we spoke about. Europe's Bank of DZ Bank and the Souls Gen Bank are stepping in with custody and tokenized bonds. The ledger is moving 1.77 million transactions a day, charging you less than 1/20th of a cent for the privilege. Y'all, man, listen, man. There's no way there's no way possible that banks and institutions around the globe are not going to choose this ledger. Being that there are things that are in place. Right now we have 1,500 TPS, right? So there are things in place that can scale that to astronomical numbers just waiting to be plugged in. So I can't give y'all all of the details and all of the research. Y'all gonna have to get in the Discord to get all the information, but I know a lot more than I'm able to just let out for y'all, as well as my brother do. But if y'all go in the Discord, we can talk a little bit more about what's going on and the real details. You feel me? So they're moving, like I said, 1.77 million in transactions a day, and they're charging you less than 1/20th of a cent to do it. And that is not crypto noise. That is infrastructure humming at scale. And the DeFi side, y'all, as y'all know, is up 57% in total locked. You feel me? Like we starting to move on the DeFi side. We starting to get things in place. You see, Flare got his little DeFi protocol actively working. We also got Charles Hoskin over there with the Cardano Foundation working on the Midnight token to do some really interesting things on the XRPL. Y'all might want to kind of take a look at that. So RLUSD and the USDC are bringing real liquidity, making DeFi on the XRPL not a theory, but a functioning marketplace. Over 900 nodes and 170 validators. This is the inner frame working that allows all of these transactions to take place. These are the validators, these are the nodes that are set in place to make sure that Ripple, make sure that the XRP ledger is running like it's supposed to run. So Ripple is barely controlling 1% of this. You feel me? And that is what we mean when we tell y'all that Ripple is a decentralized platform. There is not one centralized host they don't own none of it. They own barely 1%. You feel me? Like it's an open source. Anybody can build on this ledger. It's open source. So I mean, people just be having so much bad stuff to say about what Ripple doing and what they ain't doing. And honestly, man, they are good business people in my eyes. All of my research is telling me that this is the way to the future, and they making it happen. So being decentralized is not just a slogan for Ripple. They're actually a decentralized platform. Um, the XRPL is not competing with the system anymore. It is becoming the system, and that's true. From Dubai to Sao Paulo and Zurich, it is the new plumbing of money. So tonight we are freestyling the future, as you guys know, one block at a time, baby. You feel me? So that's what's going on as far as tokenization on the XRPL, and you could watch for a lot more. You could watch for a lot more as these CBDCs and things start running in these other countries, and the rails start being used a little more volume is being pumped. You will slowly start to see companies, as me and my brother be saying, it's a lot of companies that just ain't went live, and I haven't even brought this up to him, bro. So bro, check this out. What if some of the shit that we slowly starting to see are some of them NDAs that they have? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It could be possible. I was trying to. I'm gonna do a little more research and see what's up. But I was kind of thinking in that format, like man, because all you hear, man, every day is something new that Ripple is doing. It's something, you feel me? Like the fundamentals of what Ripple is doing for the XRP ledger is super amazing, and there is no way that the price that we are trading at right now. Let me check it out. We trading at $2.36. There is no way in hell that that could possibly be the true price of XRP. Like it has to be manipulation going on. It's too much of a big deal for it to be really truly valued at $2, and that's my opinion. So that's why I keep buying no matter what. Even if that motherfucker go to $3 or $4 or $5, I don't care. I'm still going to be accumulating because to me, all of that is still undervalued, way undervalued
Absolutely.
for the technology that they provide. So
I mean,
that's where
if
I'm
they're
at, man.
saying price targets between 10 and $17 just for ETFs, and then you add in a little bit of institutional FOMO on top of that with some retail FOMO up to like maybe 25 to $27.
Yeah,
Um, if you're buying it at anything under $5, really, I mean that's a 5x. So
straight up. And I ain't being greedy either. This is something that's long term for me, y'all. Like I'm not thinking about selling. Like that ain't even a thought. I'm not worried about it at all. My mind is more focused on
long term.
stacking a long term bag. I don't care if I'm holding it for the next 10 years. Like this is really for my children and their children. You feel me? So I
Hmm.
just want to be able to take a little bit off the top so me and my wife can do our thing. But I'm not too much focused on the right now. I'm doing exactly what my good buddy Rob Paul would say. I am unfucking my future. And I would advise you guys to do the same. And on that note, bro, go and drop that disclaimer for us, man.
Yeah, anything you hear on this channel is not financial advice. It is for educational, informational purposes only. Before you invest any money into anything, consult with a licensed financial advisor first. Please do your own research, guys. We're going to bring you a lot of the juicy news and information. We're going to give you a lot of great things. We're just kind of giving you what we're doing. This is what our communication between each other, what we believe is going on, our research, where we're putting our money. That doesn't mean for you to put your money where we're putting our money. You don't have to follow along with us. Please do your own research. Again, we're not here to tell you what to buy, when to buy, how much to buy. We will never send you messages anywhere on any platform asking you to send us anything, asking you to send us XRP, send us money, none of that. So if anyone ever does that, it is a scammer. Please be aware of scammers. They will try to take your crypto. Um,
Oh, yeah, man. On that note, we had my brother was telling me earlier about a guy, bro, go and give them the story so they can kind of learn and protect themselves as well, bro.
I mean,
That's kind of
I'll just pull it
important.
up.
Yeah, yeah, pull it up so they can see and hear what's going on. And you guys got to understand, you got to be careful how you are recording your information. You guys need to make sure you don't save any information on your devices. Write your seed phrases down and store them in a with a hardware wallet somewhere. Get you a safe. Put them in a safe deposit box. Put them somewhere you know nobody is
This is my
gonna
second
be
try
able
on
to
this
get them.
video. I've never done one before, so I couldn't really record the volume at first. My name is Brandon. I live in North Carolina. It's my first video, and the reason I'm doing it, I would have never believed in my whole life. Never thought I'd be doing a YouTube video. Never thought I'd be doing a YouTube video about this. I'll give you a big part at first, and I'll explain what happened. I've been in crypto since 2017. I've been accumulating XRP for the past 8 years. I've accumulated over 1.2 million XRP, which is worth over $3 million now. I had it on a cold wallet. It's called an LA Pal cold wallet, and I thought I did all the things right. I didn't.
So it was called an Ellie Pal cold wallet. Just so y'all know, in case you didn't hear.
I wrote down my seed phrase. I kept it a safe. I don't give it to anybody over the phone. I don't answer phone calls like that. I thought I did a pretty good job. I'm not the most computer literate, but I think I was pretty above average. About a year ago, I retired. My wife and I retired. We were planning on moving out to Las Vegas and buying a house. We was actually supposed to go look at one next week. This morning I woke up and all my XRP's been stolen, been hacked. I don't check my wallet every day. I watch the price 24 hours a day, but I don't check my wallet every day. And I guess the last time I checked it was Saturday, and I checked it this morning at 4:30, and it looks like on Sunday morning somebody removed 10 XRP, then they removed 2 minutes later, it's around 11:15 Eastern time, they removed 10 XRP, and then a couple minutes later they removed another 1,990,000 XRP. They sent it to one wallet that had just been created a few minutes earlier, and then they turned around and sent all that 1,290,000, they sent it out to about 30 different wallets. They sent it out, some in groups of 40,000, some in groups of 38,000 to different wallets. And then when it went to those wallets, they sent it out to more wallets.
So, long story short, this gentleman had $1.2 million worth of XRP sitting on a Ellie Powell cold wallet, which he thought was safe. I guess long story, come to find out, he had put his seed phrase on his iPad, which somebody had hacked and got access to the seed phrase and hacked his Ellie Powell wallet. So again, guys, be careful. The hackers are out here. They want your XRP. They want it bad. There's people out here that'll do anything for some XRP already. So be careful. Don't ever tell nobody how much XRP you have. Don't ever tell nobody, where you got your stuff. That's like telling people, oh, I got all this money stashed over here. You wouldn't do that. So don't do that with your crypto either, right? Be careful out there, guys. That's what we're saying. Be careful out there. Do your research. Get you a Tangent wallet. Get you something you can keep locked away. Be safe.
And I like Tangent personally, just because the seed phrase never leaves the card. I just used the card. I didn't get the ring. I just got me a 3-set or a 2-set of cards, one personal, one backup. I leave them in 2 different places that, no conflict, and I set my code. The seed phrase never come off the card. You never have to worry about your card, nobody tapping into it unless you hooking it up to stuff or you doing the wrong thing. So I would prefer, if you don't know how to save your seed phrases the right way, to get you a Tangent, man, and that'll help you a lot. You know what I mean? I also want to go to Jerome Powell, bro, in liquidity and how how everything is changing, because you guys, that's initially what this live was about. You know what I mean? We just want to speak on a little bit how Jerome Powell, or J Powell as we call him, just confirmed what the markets has been whispering to us the whole time. And rate cuts are definitely back on the table. After 2 years of the system just squeezing with them high ass interest rates, the feds are finally feeling
My
that
breaker
pressure.
just went off again.
Oh wow. Did it cut off?
Yeah. I had to, because all the lights had just.
Man, you talking. just in case it didn't come off. If it's still recording, because I think it's still recording, bro. Yeah, it's still recording. Sorry, y'all. My brother over there having technical difficulties. He in that new ass neighborhood, and it ain't even the foundation ain't even broke in yet. This nigga had more outages than the motherfucking man on the moon.
The last time it happened, I was like, "What the hell happened?" Is the flipping the breaker because whenever I have too much stuff plugged in, I'm gonna have to plug this in somewhere else.
This nigga had more goddamn, shit than the man on the moon, man. So we we back though, y'all. We back. We back, Jack. My brother about to sit his ass on down when he get it situated over there.
I just got to. I'm gonna have to move. We're gonna have to move over here because I had to plug into it so we don't take the breaker. Too much stuff on in the same circuit. All right.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Cool. We're good. I just
Ready.
I just can't sit down right here. I'm gonna have to stand up. I'm at my bar. I'm at the bar area in the kitchen. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, the Fed is finally feeling that pressure, you know what I'm saying? And that unemployment has been rising like crazy, y'all. Man, it's getting hard out there. People are losing their jobs left and right. Shit is getting crazy. Credit is slowing down, and the bond market shit is that motherfucker begging for oxygen. That motherfucker. Give me some air.
Hey, so what do you think about this gold rush, bro? It's like the 1920 fucking gold rush again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody rushing to go get gold.
yeah.
You know who made the most money during the gold rush?
Tell them, bro.
The
Tell them.
the the
Tell
guys the guys selling the shovels.
them.
That's who made the most money in the gold rush was the guys that were
Mm,
selling the shovels.
mm. Do y'all get that? Moral of the story is what?
Don't get caught up in all that hype and rushing for the gold. It's about to crash. I mean, the bubble's gonna pop eventually. It's too much. And China done
What
discovered
what you
like
what
China
you mean
discovered
is
one of
too
the
much?
largest gold mines in the world ever just this last year. It's like 3 metric kilotons of gold in this vein in this mine that they found.
Hmm. So what do that mean? That goal is going to be what?
A lot less valuable.
So what he's telling y'all is that gold is overpriced right now,
Way overpriced, guys. It's way
and
overpriced.
it eventually gonna have to have a
And
correction.
China's
And
about to have a whole bunch more new gold that they can just dump onto the market and drop the price of gold. Y'all have to kind of watch what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
in the macro,
Gold
y'all
going up.
gotta start watching the PBOC. Y'all gotta start watching the BOJ. Y'all gotta start watching different parts of the world. That's why I like watching Bloomberg. And that's my advice. If you don't understand macro events and you're not up to date on what's going on with macro events, you could never understand the
See,
micro.
see who's
You could
buying up all the gold? China, Russia, right?
all the nations,
Who
really
who
shit, all
who
the
who
nations
who
be
is
doing.
going to cash out this gold to pay for their national debt? These countries. Who at whose expense? At your expense while you're out there trying to accumulate all this gold.
We believe they gonna dump all that shit on y'all ass and move that shit in the crypto market. For real though. Like this the newest industry. They telling you money going digital. They fractionalizing everything. They tokenize. I mean, not fractionalize. They tokenizing everything. So even fractionalizing it, you're gonna be able to buy a piece of a piece of a piece of something. You know what I mean? Like they telling y'all where the shit going. Y'all just gotta listen to the words they said, and they trapping the words in certain little shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, everything is slowing down. Unemployment is way up. You feel me? So that's putting pressure on the feds, right? So that's slowing down credit. And then the bond market, like I say, that shit begging for attention. So they need. That's why they created the Genius Act. They need somebody to buy those treasury bills, and they need to help out the bond market some type of way.
Talk
So
about the unemployment rate. I just put a video. I put a short out on the channel. What last night, something like that. This weekend about
oh yeah, about AI.
about 2026, how AI robots are going to start taking over certain positions, mainly fast food positions, cashier positions, things like that, where your food orders that you get wrong right now, and these companies get so many complaints because they got your order wrong, and they have rude customer service, and all that's out the window now.
Absolutely.
Your
Yeah.
order will be right. Your fries will be nice and crispy. Your customer service will be decent. It'll be the same. You know
It won't be no customer service. They just get your food and go. That's all y'all
exactly.
want anyway.
And it's gonna
Y'all don't
be all
want.
digital payments. Pay on your app. Order on your app. Do all of
Yeah,
this.
people don't.
Pay.
It's like people don't even want human interaction no more. We all be right here together, and nobody is talking to nobody. Everybody on their digital device. Everybody on their phone. Everybody on their tablet. Nobody is speaking to nobody. People walking by just like nobody's paying attention to nothing because we're too busy focused into these. Um, Distractions, I believe. I can't call it nothing other than that. They are distractions. And if you're not utilizing these objects for what they were meant to be used for, you just become a part of, the masses. Y'all, everybody gonna get ate. If you're not preparing and um, building you some type of digital portfolio before the digital age hit, then you will not be one of the ones reaping the benefits of what the digital age brings. And it's almost equivalent to when our parents or those of our parents that had the chance to invest into the internet and shit like that and was like, oh, that ain't gonna be a thing.
Just think about it like when
And,
Amazon just sold books. Amazon
right?
Amazon started off as a book company. All they did was sell books. And people were like that could see the vision of Amazon, what it was gonna be outside of just selling books, and how they wanted to bring in other vendors and they were building a distribution company, one of the largest distribution companies in America. And people didn't see that. All they saw was a bookstore. They didn't see the distribution rails being built behind the bookstore. Then they can distribute whatever they want besides books. Then they can have other people come onto their platform and sell their items on their platform and use their distribution to sell their items on and get paid a fraction for those sales. Right? So the people that invested early on into that company, into Amazon when it was a bookstore, now today are very wealthy people. Same thing, the people that saw Google's vision when it was just a web browser. And you had Firefox, and you had Google, and you had Microsoft, and you had all these other companies that were offering the same thing, which was a web browser. But then Google had other plans besides just being a web browser. And the people that saw and did their research and into Google and saw its bigger picture and invested into Google when it was just a web browser today are very wealthy people. Same thing with Meta, when it was just Facebook and it was only for college students. It wasn't even available to the full public. At first, Facebook was only available to college students, and it was available for college communication. And the people that invested into Facebook then and saw the bigger picture that, hey, this is going to grow outside of the college space, and it's going to be a way for people to communicate and send pictures and stuff like that all across the world, they're very wealthy people today. And Meta brought on a lot of other things besides Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp and all these other platforms that Meta has. And now they're going into huge data centers and stuff like that to grow their future. So if you can see the future of these companies and you invest in them when they're way undervalued, that's when you become super wealthy. But you have to hang on for a while. You can't. It's not just going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen in 6 months. It's not going to happen in a year. This is long-term wealth generation. This is 10, 15 years down the road. You buy into these companies right now and it's XRP is at $2 a token, and 10 years from now, I can promise you would look back and say, dang, I wish I could have bought XRP at $2 and something a token, $3 a token. That's what we're getting at. We're getting at how undervalued it is for the long term of the corporate vision, of the company's vision, and what they're doing and what they're building now behind the scenes, that we're trying to bring to the forefront to show you that the long-term longevity of this company is a way more value than what it's being given at this very moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So check this out, y'all. When the feds are cutting rates, that's not showing that they are confident in our economy. You feel me? That is actually them admitting that our system is pretty fragile. But the flip to that is every time they cut rates, there is more liquidity brought into the system, right? And when liquidity comes back into the system, it do not stay at your banks, your local banks. This is the money that you are going to borrow, and people who got decent credit can go borrow and get money. And what you think they gonna do with the money when they borrow it? And not only them, the banks themselves, if they're not lending this money out to you and me and somebody making some money on the money, what do you think they're gonna do with it? They are going to buy assets. They're gonna go right into risk on assets. That's what we call risk on. When they're cutting rates and money is cheaper, they are borrowing money cheaper, pushing it into assets, getting a yield or getting the interest or the residuals from those assets. It could be long term, it could be short term. Most of the time for these banks, they buying T-bills and shit like that. You know what I mean? So this is how that shit work. They buy equities, they buying commodities and crypto as well. So XRP and the XRPL, it literally stands at the crossroad of that flow. While Bitcoin is a store of value, yes, XRP is a rail of value. You feel me? Like, it's the literal infrastructure where the new money can actually move. So Jerome Powell cuts might look like policy, but in the background, shit, it's starting a gun for the next wave of global liquidity migration to the new rails. And that's what I'm waiting on personally. I'm watching the rails, and like me and my brother I always say, the rails are definitely fucking humming, bro. Won't you tap in, take us where you going? I see you to pull up the charts.
I'm just kind of looking at, how we're bouncing on the 4-hour chart for XRP. I placed a long position at 236.9. No, I want to say it was 236.9, and playing off this bounce up that we're looking like we're gonna take this little bounce back up into the 240s, 242 range. So kind of just checking on that play, that's all. Liking how things are looking on the 4-hour chart for XRP. we wicked down, came down to the 35, 30, 235, 9. So right at 236, and wicked up, and it looks like we were gonna bounce back up. Hopefully we can get some good momentum come up here to like touch this EMA around the 244. So kind of just setting up a play before I go to bed this evening. Gonna see how that trade plays out.
Kind of looking at this document that Jay Claver had posted. I don't want to let the people see this. So this is another reason why we always talk about having something set in place to where after price appreciation come, you won't fumble the bag. So when we see some major price action come from XRP, I've got uncomfortable news for you. A lot of exchanges will not have the liquidity to let you exit the market to exit at market value. My bad. And with the supply shock, institutional buyers dominate OTCs, over-the-counter exchanges. And retail will get stuck fighting for the exposure through ETFs and DATs. Everyone wants to believe their XRP bag is going to make them rich overnight while they do nothing differently. Well, I'm here to tell you that without custody, tax strategy, and wealthy infrastructure before the liquidity event, you'll fumble generational wealth. That's what the man said. So this is Jay Claver. Y'all, of course, y'all can see he is the CEO of Digital Wealth Partners and the creator of the Mastermind and Beyond Broke Group. So y'all might want to go check him out. Follow him on X. And yeah, I also wanted to show you guys this. I have been looking at this list. Now, this is kind of crazy to me. These are all the top holders in the XRP community. As you can see, there are over 1 million wallets with 0 to 20 XRPs. Or is it 16 million? These are accounts. It's over 1 million accounts with over 20 XRP. Over 2.3 million accounts with has 20 and between 20 and 500. 190,000 between 500 and 1,000. You see how massive that number just dipped? That's crazy. Like we went from millions to 100,000 wallets that hold 500 or 1,000. Now there's 400 wallets, 400,000 wallets, almost half a million people that hold between 1,000 and 5,000 wallets. Then you got the bigger group between 5,000 and 10,000 and so on and so forth. But you also have to remember that most people who are holding XRP are using multiple wallets. So that don't even account for that factor. There's less than 1% of the globe that owns XRP. There's 650 million people who own crypto at the moment. And the plan is to get exposure to all 7-8 billion people on the planet, or however many people are actually utilizing the internet or have a phone. The plan is to get everybody crypto exposure. Everybody will be using crypto to buy things and so on and so forth. This is how the future is presented. So I believe most people are in this range. You know what I mean? Most of us regular people, we probably got, this between this little range. But don't get mad because you in there. You still a part of the 1% because it's only 1% of us that actually hold XRP. Out of the 6 million people, 650 million people that hold crypto. I think it's only like maybe 1% or some shit like that that hold XRP. So if you are in the group, you are one of the people that can reap these benefits later on. Because I really believe XRP will do some astronomical things. So I also got a group on my homepage on my profile, and I think it has the actual list. There it is, and the rankings of what you are. So this is how the ranking go, and just try to get somewhere in there as you build. Just keep building it up. Most of us, I say, we like probably between these. You know what I mean? Between 500 and maybe 10,000. I hear a lot of people's been stacking XRP since it was 17 cents. Like that guy that lost $3 million. And if you one of them, then of course you probably will be one of the elite holding this token, because the future is going digital, and that's a no-brainer. Either we're going back to Neanderthals or the future is going to be digital. You feel me? So I mean, there's no two ways about it. You know what I mean? And XRP and the XRPL stands at the crossroad of that flow. You got to remember what I say. It's standing at the crossroad, man. There's nothing like the XRPL, and that's why we always speak about the XRPL so much, so vividly. I mean, that's one of the things we study pretty much every day, all day, man. Like that's something we do.
For sure. I mean, we're just trying to bring people a way to change your financial situation, guys. If you're like one of us that's out here and you're struggling, and it's hard for you to save money, pay bills, take care of kids, everything with the inflation, and your dollar's losing value and the inflation's going up, so you're losing money on both ends. Like, how do you beat it? Like, how do you get ahead out here? Well,
Absolutely.
we're here to show you how. We're here to give you the information on this is how you can do it. This is a way. Um, so for those of you looking for a way out, join us on this venture, right? This is our way out. This is our retirement, our financial future, our kids' financial future. Take heed to what's going on. You have the greatest opportunity in your life right now to get ahead of the game and really make an impact, and really make a difference in your future. But the time is, and people say this, that the time is now, but the time has already been now. The time was now. The time was now 2 years ago, a
Yesterday,
year ago, right?
yeah.
Um,
The time was now
so,
yesterday, man.
sorry, my
We
nose is
late.
itching.
Shit.
We're not late, but again, I mean,
We late, man. We late, but we early. We
yeah,
early in the sense that we're just now getting regulatory clarity and all of that. But man, we late compared to people who've been, man, I want XRP at 17 cents.
yeah.
Shit, I'm late.
We all wanted at 17 cent, but I don't think that's gonna happen again.
Right. So
Yeah.
we late. Shit. We late.
But we just don't want people to look back when it's ten
But we're
dollars,
not late in the
ten
sense
dollars in
that
the near future, and they're like, "Man, now we're really late." We could have
right,
gotten in at
right.
$2 a few
Like
months ago.
like if if you feel like you was late and didn't get to get in, because like me and my brother, we missed the 50 cent XRP by maybe 2-4 months. You know what I mean? So um with that being said, that kind of made us salty. We came in when XRP was $2. We caught the 161 dip. We caught the 191 dip. We caught all that, but shit, if we could have got in months, but we didn't know. So you can't cry over spilled milk about what you don't know. You know what I mean? But it would have been, oh my God, it would have been beautiful if we could have just, got in a little bit earlier. you
Right.
know. But we can't, like you say, we can't cry over spilled milk. It is what it is.
We still got in at a great time, and you can still get in a great time to if you just do your research and find out where you're at and what you can do. But it's been a wonderful Sunday night,
bro.
fun day with you guys. Did you have something else for him, brother?
Nah, I had got an email.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
Well, Set for Life Crypto, guys. We will be back tomorrow bringing you some new,
did,
fresh information on.
bro. Before you leave, did you get your email?
I'm sure I did get an email. I get a bunch of emails all the time. I have to go through and look. Yeah, I got an email.
Okay.
Um, so basically, while they play in chess with the dollar, the board's already changing. Pal talking rate cuts like they're holding mercy for the markets. But what he's really doing is opening the floodgates, basically.
Straight up.
Every cut pumps liquidity, and liquidity always finds new rails. And guess what rails it's riding this time? The digital ones.
You know, that's
And
fact, my brother. You know, that's fact. They keep calling it easing and shit. You know, we call it activation sequence. money about the like the ones and who understand utility and gonna be the one stacking. Generational leverage, man. Like Wall Street still trying to reset risk. You know what I mean? Reprice risk. So you know, the XRPL is ready to reprice at speed and cost and trust. You feel me? The feds print, the market spin. But XRP don't beg for the policy, man. It just flow wherever the value needs to be moved. So,
well, so when Jerome flips that switch, don't think recession, think reset. Capital
yeah.
always chases efficiency, and the bridge is already built.
And that's why we stay ready, man. Keep your mind sharp, your bag steady. The next liquidity cycle ain't coming to us. It's moving through us, you guys. This was Set for Life Crypto, where the macro meets on-chain and the vision meets velocity. Stay focused, stay fluid, and remember, when the tide turns, real ones don't draw down. They gonna surf that wave, baby. We gonna get up out of here. Set for Life Crypto. Crypto
Got it.
General
Crypto
out.
Kurt. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah.